Hey guys, Patrick Ward here with Optimum Sports Performance, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about troubleshooting your squat pattern. So a lot of times you go into the gym, you see people performing a squat. Usually their technique leaves a lot to be desired. Depth is typically a big problem, as is keeping good posture. So two of the exercises I'm going to show you today are ways that I use to teach the squat or help people learn the squat better. We use this in our first phase of training before progressing on to using the barbell. These exercises are great for the warm-up. They help warm up the hips, prepare the body, prepare the posture for placing load on it. The first is called the toe touch squat. We actually just get into a position where our squat would typically be, feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. I like to keep my toes straight ahead on this one. I know usually we squat with our toes a little bit turned out, but keeping the toes ahead so that I can help to loosen up the hips a little bit. All I'm going to do is reach down and grab the inside of my shoe right underneath my big toe, and from there I'm going to work on just dropping my hips down, pulling my shoulder blades back. I'm going to hold that position for one or two count, then I'm going to relax back up, and I'll do anywhere from 5 to 10 repetitions of the toe touch squat. And as you become more proficient with the toe touch squat, you can actually turn it into a squat to stand maneuver, where you reach down, grasp right underneath the big toe, right below the bottom of your shoe. You drop your hips down, you hold that position. You can use your elbows to push the knees out a little bit, get a stretch through the adductors, and then you're going to place your hands into an overhead position and stand up. And again, 5 to 10 repetitions. If you find it hard to get down to the ground, that's not a problem. All we do is we bring the ground to you. So you can take a medicine ball that you can find at the gym, or even a small dumbbell can kind of work as something to put your hands on. And all you're going to do, this is going to be a little high for me, but all you're going to do is reach down, place your hands on the ball, and then drop your hips down, and it's going to be the same movement. And then raise back up, and then back down. And as you become more proficient with that, you'll work your way towards the floor, maybe using a smaller ball, or you can use an aerobic step, usually taking out the risers until you get down to the last step, and then you'll be onto the floor, and then finally progress that up to the overhead movement. And then after we loosen up the hips, another great way to teach sitting back and getting depth is to find a bench that's about where your femur will be parallel with the floor or the ceiling at the bottom of the squat. And this is called a counter movement squat. You're going to get into your squat position right above the bench, feet shoulder width or a little bit wider, toes pointed slightly to the outside, nothing excessive. You're going to start with a medicine ball, chest level, and as you squat back and down, you're going to press that ball out in front. Tap the bench, hold for a second, and then stand back up. It's important not to relax on the bench, so I always tell people, if you're going to squat down and touch this bench, you should be able to hold that position tight for a 1 or 2 count, and it should be tight enough that if I were to just pull the bench out from underneath you, you'd still be sitting in your squat position, so you're not relaxing down to the bench. So again, ball at chest level, we sit back and down, we push the ball out in front, and then we stand back up and pull it back. The counter movement, the ball going out in front, really helps us reinforce that sitting back pattern.